lions and majestic, powerful and feared. Yet behind the walls of sanctuaries designed to protect them, danger can lurk in the shadows. In 2018, a young animal care intern's passion for wildlife turned into a deadly nightmare. Alexandra Black, just 22 years old, was mauled by a lion named Matthai at the North Carolina Conservators Center, a place meant to be a safe haven for exotic animals. What really happened inside the sanctuary's gates? How could a locked enclosure fail so catastrophically? This is the terrifying story of Alexandra Black's final moments, a story of courage, tragedy, and the unpredictable power of nature. If you're new here, welcome to Animal Quests, the place where we explore real-life animal attack stories with respect and depth. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this video to honor those who risk their lives caring for wildlife. Now let's dive into Alexandra Black's tragic story. Alexandra Black was just 22 years old. A young woman from Indiana with a deep passion for animals, Alexandra had spent much of her life dedicated to learning about and caring for wildlife. Before coming to North Carolina, she had gained valuable experience working at Wolf Park in Indiana, a well-respected animal sanctuary and educational center. Alexandra dreamed of making a real difference in the lives of wild animals, and this passion led her to a new opportunity, an internship at the North Carolina Conservators Center in Burlington, North Carolina. The North Carolina Conservators Center was an exotic animal sanctuary specializing in the care and rehabilitation of big cats and other large carnivores. The sanctuary's mission was clear: to provide a safe and nurturing environment for animals that could no longer survive in the wild. Here, lions, tigers, wolves, and bears were given a second chance at life. Among the animals cared for at the sanctuary was Matthai, a large male African lion. Matthai was housed in one of the center's several enclosures, sturdy, secure spaces designed to protect both the animals and the staff. These enclosures were built to strict safety standards with locked gates and barriers meant to prevent any chance of escape. For Alexandra, this internship was a dream come true. She arrived full of hope and enthusiasm, eager to learn from the experienced staff at the sanctuary. Her role involved daily care routines such as feeding, cleaning, and assisting with animal enrichment. She saw this as the first step toward a lifelong career in animal conservation. Her co-workers quickly noticed Alexandra's dedication and gentle approach to the animals. She had a natural calmness around the big cats that made her stand out. Every day, Alexandra poured her heart into her work, determined to make a difference, unaware that her passion would soon lead her into a deadly encounter with the very creatures she sought to protect. On November 22, 2018, at the North Carolina Conservators Center in Burlington, the day began like any other. The sanctuary staff and interns, including Alexandra Black, were preparing for a routine day of cleaning, feeding, and general maintenance of the animal enclosures. It was a crisp fall morning, and the atmosphere at the sanctuary was calm, with the usual sounds of animals in their habitats filling the air. That day, Alexandra was assigned to assist with cleaning an outdoor holding area adjacent to Matthai's enclosure. Matthai, the adult male lion, was securely locked inside his cage, a cage built with reinforced steel and multiple locking mechanisms designed to keep both the lion and staff safe. Nearby, other staff members were working in the adjoining spaces, preparing food and checking on the other animals. Alexandra had been with the sanctuary for only about 10 days, but had already shown herself to be diligent and eager to learn. Her duties that morning included scrubbing and sanitizing parts of the enclosure, ensuring the animals' living areas were clean and free of debris, and assisting with feeding tasks. She worked alongside other interns and experienced staff members, including a senior keeper named Michael James and volunteer coordinator Sarah Whitfield. The team followed established protocols to maintain safety during the cleaning process. According to standard procedure, animals like Matthai were to be securely locked away before staff entered adjacent areas for maintenance. Despite this, something went terribly wrong that day. As Alexandra and the team worked, Matthai somehow managed to escape his locked enclosure. How the lion broke free remained a key question for investigators in the days that followed. The sanctuary's layout was complex, with interconnected spaces that required careful coordination. Matthai's sudden escape caught everyone by surprise, setting in motion a chain of events that would end in tragedy. The sanctuary, normally a place of care and refuge, quickly became the scene of a terrifying attack that would claim Alexandra's life and change the community forever. On that fateful morning of November 22, 2018, Matthai the lion was securely locked in his enclosure, as was routine. However, shortly after staff began their cleaning duties nearby, Matthai somehow managed to escape. According to the official investigation and reports from sanctuary staff, the exact cause of Matthai's escape remains unclear. Some believe a mechanical failure or an unlocked door might have provided an opening, while others suggest the lion used his powerful strength to manipulate the locks or gates. Whatever the cause, Matthai was suddenly free from his enclosure, stepping into an area where Alexandra Black and other workers were present. At approximately 10:30 a.m., Alexandra was in the cleaning area adjacent to Matthai's cage, working alongside fellow interns and volunteers. Suddenly, Matthai appeared, a massive, powerful lion, now loose and on the attack. Witnesses later described the horrifying scene: shouts of alarm, the roar of the lion, and the panic as Alexandra tried to retreat. Staff members yelled for help as Matthai lunged at Alexandra. The sounds of the attack were terrifying, echoing through the sanctuary grounds. Co-workers rushed to her aid but were unable to stop the lion. The attack lasted only minutes, but it was enough to inflict fatal injuries on Alexandra. Emergency protocols were immediately activated. Staff called 911, and paramedics from Alamance County Emergency Services were dispatched to the North Carolina Conservators Center. First responders arrived quickly, entering the sanctuary with extreme caution, knowing the lion was still loose. Rescue efforts focused on both securing Matthai and providing medical aid to Alexandra. Despite rapid transport to nearby Alamance Regional Medical Center, Alexandra's injuries were too severe. She was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. For the safety of the staff and any visitors, Matthai was euthanized on site by wildlife authorities. This difficult but necessary decision brought an end to the terrifying event, but left a community mourning a young woman who had only just begun her career in animal care. The sanctuary was left to grapple with the tragedy, a painful reminder of the risks involved in working with wild animals, even in controlled environments. Following the tragic attack that claimed Alexandra Black's life, multiple official investigations were launched to determine how such a devastating failure occurred at the North Carolina Conservators Center. State and local authorities, including animal control officials and workplace safety inspectors from OSHA, arrived on site to conduct thorough examinations. The central question was clear: how did Matthai, a fully grown male lion, escape from what was supposed to be a secure, locked enclosure? Initial inspection reports revealed that the sanctuary's safety measures were generally in place, but identified critical vulnerabilities. Investigators found that a gate securing Matthai's enclosure had not been properly latched during the morning routine. Some staff members reportedly had concerns about the locking mechanisms being difficult to secure correctly, but these concerns had not been formally addressed prior to the incident. There was no direct evidence of intentional negligence, but the findings highlighted a dangerous lapse in protocol, human error combined with equipment flaws that created the conditions for Matthai's escape. The sanctuary's management released a public statement expressing profound sorrow over Alexandra's death and extended their condolences to her family and friends. They emphasized their commitment to animal welfare, but acknowledged that the incident exposed weaknesses in their safety procedures. In the days and weeks following the attack, the sanctuary temporarily suspended public tours and reevaluated their operational policies. Staff morale was deeply affected. Many struggled with grief and shock over losing a colleague so young and full of promise. This tragic event sparked wider discussions in the exotic animal care community about the risks inherent in working with dangerous animals. It underscored the vital importance of strict adherence to safety protocols, regular equipment maintenance, and ongoing staff training. In some states, the incident contributed to calls for more rigorous regulations governing exotic animal sanctuaries, including mandatory safety audits and stricter licensing requirements. For Alexandra Black and her family, nothing could undo the loss, but her story became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragile balance between humans and wild animals. even in places designed to protect them. Alexandra Black's tragic death sent shockwaves through the animal care community and beyond. In Burlington, North Carolina, friends, family, and colleagues gathered to remember a young woman whose passion for wildlife had touched so many. Memorials were held to honor Alexandra's life. Moments of silence, heartfelt speeches, and flowers left at the sanctuary's entrance. Co-workers and volunteers spoke of her kindness, dedication, and the bright future she had envisioned in animal conservation. One sanctuary volunteer shared, "Alexandra was fearless in her love for these animals. She had so much promise and was always willing to learn and help. Losing her feels like losing a part of our family." Her supervisors echoed similar sentiments, recalling her gentle approach and eagerness to contribute despite her brief time at the center. Many said her loss served as a painful reminder of the real dangers faced by those who work closely with wild and unpredictable creatures. This incident reignited a broader conversation about the risks animal rescuers, interns, and sanctuary workers face daily. While sanctuaries strive to provide safe environments, the unpredictable nature of wild animals means that even the best precautions may not be enough. Experts emphasize the critical importance of comprehensive safety protocols, proper training, and ongoing risk assessments for anyone involved in animal care, especially when dealing with large predators like lions, tigers, and bears. Past incidents, such as the 2013 attack on an intern at a big cat sanctuary in Florida, underscore the harsh reality. Animal attacks can and do happen, sometimes with fatal consequences. These events highlight the necessity for vigilance, respect for the animal's power, and strict adherence to safety measures. Alexandra's legacy lives on as a call to action, reminding everyone involved in wildlife care that passion must be matched with caution, and that lives depend on it. The tragic death of Alexandra Black sparked important discussions among experts in animal behavior and sanctuary management, shedding light on the complex and often unpredictable nature of working with large predators like lions. Animal behaviorists explain that lions, by instinct, are territorial and protective. Stress, fear, or sudden changes in their environment can trigger aggressive behaviors, even in captivity. Experts note that escapes often happen when an animal senses a weakness in its enclosure, or if routine procedures are not strictly followed. In Matthai's case, investigators believe that a combination of human error and possible mechanical failure created an opportunity for him to break free. Sanctuary safety officials emphasize that while passion drives many to work with exotic animals, the margin for error is razor thin. The risk of injury or worse is always present. That's why comprehensive safety protocols, constant vigilance, and regular staff training are non-negotiable. Every gate must be double-checked, every lock secured, and every animal's behavior carefully monitored. Dr. Emily Sanders, a wildlife behavior expert, remarked in a public statement, "Working with wild animals requires deep respect for their power and unpredictability. Even the most experienced keepers must never become complacent." Alexandra's story is a painful reminder of this delicate balance, where the love for animals meets the harsh realities of nature. Rescuers and interns walk a fine line every day, driven by their dedication, but always facing the inherent dangers of their work. Her legacy is not only one of loss, but also of crucial lessons learned, lessons that continue to shape how sanctuaries operate and train their staff to prevent future tragedies. Alexandra Black's story is a powerful and heartbreaking reminder of the dangers faced by those who dedicate their lives to caring for wild animals. At just 22 years old, her passion and promise were cut tragically short in the serene grounds of the North Carolina Conservators Center. Her death exposed critical gaps in safety protocols and highlighted the unpredictable nature of working with powerful predators like Matthai, the lion. Alexandra's legacy urges sanctuaries across the nation and the world to strengthen their safety measures, invest in rigorous staff training, and maintain constant vigilance to protect both humans and animals. The risks that animal rescuers and sanctuary workers accept every day are immense. They face unpredictable situations with courage and compassion, often behind the scenes, driven by a deep commitment to animal welfare. As viewers, we must recognize and respect their work while advocating for safer conditions and better regulations. Alexandra's story is a solemn call to action, to learn, improve, and prevent such tragedies from happening again. We honor Alexandra Black and all those who have given their lives caring for animals. Their dedication will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like, share, and subscribe to support this channel. Together, we keep their stories alive. Wait for our next video.